all day. News Radio 1080 KRLD. So it seems that a few years back, the only thing people could talk about was investing in gold and gold securities, but all of a sudden the price of gold has dropped off a lot. Is it now the time to get into it? North Texas financial analyst Ivan Sachs covers the gold industry, joins us live now. Morning, Ivan. Thanks for taking part and joining us this morning on New Year's Day.
My pleasure. Happy to be with you.
Let's talk about gold. When we're buying gold and we see that gold is available, what are we actually buying?
You're buying a medium of exchange. You're buying something that can be converted into cash, into any currency that you want. You're buying an item or a commodity that is either valued very highly by some and despised by others. And obviously you want to always buy something when everybody doesn't like it, because obviously that's where the intrinsic value is to any item that you purchase.
What don't people like about gold right now?
Well, I think that there's a lot of people that believe that gold itself has run up tremendously, but and that it's still got further to go. But I think what people really need to understand is what is the actual cost of extracting gold, and does it really have an inherent value to it? And if you know that you're buying something that's valuable, then you feel comfortable buying it. And if you feel that you're buying something that's overvalued, you feel that I'm too scared to buy it. And so there are, I normally take the approach that's what's the worst that people are thinking about it, and what's the best of what people are thinking about it. And then you take the average of the two, and you're probably landing up where you should be.
I know a lot of people that have a very negative view of the future will say to buy gold and buy gold now to as a hedge against the future. Why do we as people, why does our society give such a value to gold? What is it about gold that gives it its value?
Well, if we look, we live in the United States and we live in the western part of the world, and there's a big world out there, particularly in the east. And you look at India, you look at China, and India and China and a lot of the other countries, even in the Arab countries, gold has got an incredible importance, both spiritually as well as for, their way of determining what their wealth is. So there's been a lot of selling of gold, let's say, in the western part of the world, but then we have to look at, who's been buying it? And you'll find, in particular, I know that the Russians have been accumulating gold in a very big way, as have been the Chinese. You've got to look at the buyers and the sellers. And the sellers have definitely been the western part of the world, and the buyers have been the eastern.
Is this the time? Is this the time to get into gold? Will gold hit the highs that we saw earlier this year?
Now what I'd like to do, David, is have a look at it in two different ways. Gold has come down. Let's say that it was at a peak more or less of about 1900, and let's say that now we're down to about 1200. So we've lost, let's say, approximately 30%. Let's say going from 1900 down to about 1250 or somewhere around there.
Right.
What's important to realize is that the actual gold stocks, the actual companies that either produce or the exploration companies have dropped approximately 4 times that amount. And so the value might be in looking at the companies rather than the physical commodity itself. I think that that's where the opportunity lies, is probably in the actual companies that have actually been decimated as opposed to falling just 30% like gold has itself.
Ivan Sachs, thank you so much for your time this morning.
The pleasure.
Happy New Year, sir. Thank you very much.